Hello, folks. Welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. And again, today I am imaging the full disk using the Solar Scout. We've had a major flare occur in this region right here, where it's very bright and it is headed our way. It happened 2 days ago. I've got pictures of the sun before the flare and after the flare. And yesterday, this region was still pretty active, and I time-lapsed the sun yesterday, and I'm going to start that right now as well. So it's a pretty fascinating time we're in. The period of the solar maximum. Lots of stuff happening. So I'm going to, I'm using these crosshairs in this one sunspot as a reference to keep the solar disk somewhat centered. So I'm moving the mount up a little bit and a little east. And then I'm going to start a capture. And I think I'm going to use 200, I think I'm going to use 300 frames, and interval between, this is happening again. The last time I imaged, no, it wasn't. Yesterday was great. This is nuts. I'm going to shut this down and reboot SharpCap and see if that fixes it. I may have to do this and restart this time lapse. That'll be an aggravation. Bring up the SI 1600 camera. Okay, let's bring up our crosshairs. And let's see how centered that is. And it's not. So, okay, let's move the. Well, let's do this. Let's bring up the circle. Ah, that looks pretty centered. I could probably move it up a little bit. And that looks pretty good. So let's get our single crosshair and plant it. Let's drop our exposure down to 21.8. That looks good. And hope the pixelization doesn't come back. I feel sure it's my, we're going to do the Solar Scout and change that to 300 frames. We're going to do, let's try for 250 today. And so let's start this. trying to keep it around the kind of minimize the cropping that's going to be done during the alignment process of the time lapse. If I wasn't doing a time lapse, I wouldn't try to get this as exact. But right here is where there's a lot of change going on, and throughout this morning, I'm sure it'll change some. When I first booted up this earlier today, around 9 o'clock, which was an hour and a half ago, this was not nearly as pronounced as it is right now. So something tells me we've had another flare pop off here. I'll find out later on today because Dr. Tamitha Skov will bring us up to date. Excuse me. I'm going to bring the exposure down to 21 milliseconds. That wasn't a good idea. But these filaments right here and stretching across the sun here and here, these are monsters, and they launch flares. That impact us. This is the area where the action is happening right now. This region right here that's acting up. Yep. Don't know where that came from. Problems when you go live. I accidentally hit the countdown. Not to be turned loose with these keys. This is kind of new here. It's becoming more pronounced, this brighter area. Solar maximum, at any point in time, stuff can happen. Stuff's happening. Every second of every minute of every hour of the day during the solar maximum. But stuff that would affect us and conditions on our mud ball. Yeah, that's what we're interested in. Side effects of radiation storms, magnetic solar storms are huge. They're a health issue. They bring the beautiful auroras in the northern latitude, sometimes reaching down to some of the mid-latitudes. Got to keep an eye on this part right here, and these filaments are changing too. It's just, you can't watch it all. That's why I like to do a time lapse. You have some area, you have some luminosity changes up here as well. This may turn out to be something that you need to pay attention to. here. Can't want to keep one way. Need to bring this down a little bit here. keep an eye on right here. Just reading right here. This is where we are about right now. Look at that. There we go. And yeah, over here with AI 171. Hey, Bill. Yeah, I know. How you doing? I love your scripts, your processes. And I like that you got them in like process icons. You're doing some awesome work. We've had a lot of clear skies, daytime, nighttime. I have so much data I've taken. I don't even know where to start. The sun's gone nuts though. We've got a flare that came off of this region right here 2 days ago that's going to hit us about December 1st. It's going to affect the mid and higher latitudes, radiation and magnetic storms, and it's going to be one of the higher class flares, and it looks like it's headed our way. So I've been kind of following it. I'm doing a time lapse now, and this started acting up again up here. These filaments are in a constant state of they'll be real active when I'm finished with this time lapse. And this one had a lot to do with launching this flare. Crazy. I'm using this sunspot kind of as a reference to manual guiding on this very less than perfect mount. I'm using a Celestron AVX, and it has tons of backlash. So I have to crank up the speed to 4 times sidereal. And when it gets to moving, Wi-Fi's been horrific too. So I'm going to have to shut it down and reboot. It's the only way. It's the only way to. All right, we're going to cancel this, and I'll just shut down SharpCap. Yeah, you just want a raw video file, right? A raw AVI file of the sun. Is that what you're? That's all you want? Because I take video and now I stack it in AutoStacker, and I can send you the TIFF file. Would you rather have that? I can send you the video or the TIFF. Got you. Alrighty. Do you have my email address? That's ed@emphoto.net. Yeah, send me an email, and then it'll be a large file, so I'll probably use a program called Mail Big File. I'll use that program, Mail Big File, to send it to you. Yeah, I'll be anxious to see how that works. It'll be probably early afternoon, around 1 or 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, before I can send it. Check this out, Bill, if you're still on. Watch right here. Yeah, that's awesome. And then we had one up here that's died down, but wow. These are those filaments that are, this really was monster. Look at this. It's crazy. Bang, bang, and then bang. I tell you what, that's some crazy stuff. Fascinating to me. This was hotter earlier. It's kind of quieted down over here. This is quieting down some too. We've been in clouds too. We're going to have rain coming in 2 days, and it's going to last for 4 or 5 days. But um, for the last month, we probably have had as many clear skies, maybe, as we've had cloudy. So I got a lot of imaging in, and I always drag my feet on processing it. I've got 17 hours in narrowband in part of the Heart Nebula or Soul Nebula. I just keep capturing data. Too lazy to go get another target. It gets to the point where you just don't need any more. Enough's enough. You really don't see a major change. Oh, you'll love it. Oh, you'll love it. Yeah. Oh, that'll be awesome. Oh, I, I'm going to stop this before it starts. I've really moved off my axis. Yeah, that's a kit right there, friend. Uh, I'm so dyslexic. Uh, come on, Celestron. All right, let's do this again. Let's go back. And let's just continue with who's counting. I'm going to run this till noon. I'll have 3 hours of data. And hopefully it'll show some of the filament movement. It will show changes down here because I've watched the changes happen over the last 3 hours. Sort of kind of wished I'd have used the other kit because I could have zoomed in on this. But I thought I'd do the whole disc because the whole disc is capable of anything. My I've got a good photography friend that I've done a lot of photography with. I got into astrophotography, and he's so he's gone overboard. He's built in an observatory in the backyard. There went a jet. He built an observatory in the backyard. That'll screw up that image. This is the Solar Scout. I think I have a. It's the one on top, and then the Astrotech 65 EDQ underneath it has the quirk on it. This has a quirk on it. It's a 60 millimeter, and I'm using the ASI 1600 camera, which produces a. It's not a good video format because I'm only knocking off 15 frames per second, but it has such high resolution. I'm only taking 300 frames, and but it produces a pretty good image, um, for sure, and I love that. But at any rate, it's one of Daystar Filter's really entry level solar scope. Yes, I do. There's a difference. The IR cut filter. There's two kinds of those filters, though. You got to get the right one, and I'm trying to remember a pass-through band and a. Oh, I can't remember what it is. Mm, it'll come to me in a minute. Oh, what is it? Anyway, Dr. Essie's his name, my buddy, and he now has built an observatory in Chile, South America, and he's putting one up in Arizona. It's done. It's already up. So he has an observatory in his backyard, and he has one in Chile, and he has one now in Arizona. So, and he's sending me data that he's getting from there all the time from the southern hemisphere to process and see what I come up with. He's a neurologist that does a lot of spinal surgeries. And his equipment is it's just killer equipment. I'm talking about, I hazard to guess how much he's tied up in it, but It is just killer equipment. But he doesn't have solar. He hasn't gone solar yet. So it won't be long. The quirk is if you don't have good seeing, if you're seeing somewhat, if you don't have really good seeing, I don't. The quirk is it's a struggle to get good contrast and get really good images. You just have to almost. I do. I just have to almost over process it, and I hate that. Um, I'm I'm blowing up deconvolution on it, and I hate doing that. Huh? I never thought about adding an thje filter. Are you talking about dialing in the quirk from click to click? I've done that. I sometimes do that before I start out in the morning. I start at dead center and I image, then I reset it clockwise, a click. Yeah, and then I knock off 500 frames, reset it, wait for the green light, do the same thing, and then I bring those images up and see which one is the best. I have I don't know how to do it any other way because it takes a while for it to settle down. And right now it's about 40 degrees out. It got down in the 20s in South Carolina last night. So when it's this cold, it takes a while to heat up. Have you noticed a big difference? I can't see a really big difference tuning it. Yep. Let me. Uh, this is the moonlight focuser. This is the quirk. This is a tilt adapter by Starzona, and then that is the ASI 174 camera. I'm open for suggestions. The IR filters screwed into the quirk. I think. Yeah. Let's see if. Oh, really? Hmm. Do you have a really? Do you have a tilt adapter? I have to have that. Or my Newton rings are ridiculous, and they don't flat out. I don't know how to get my camera any closer to the, huh. Can you put you can't put the tilt adapter in front of the quirk, can you? I think it has 67 millimeters of back focus too from the camera. The quirk has 67 million, there's 67 millimeters of back focus if I remember right, which, um, okay, awesome, awesome. I did not know that. I can't type very well. What camera are you using? What Player One camera are you using? I have the Uranus C that I use for planetary, and I finally figured out how to use it, and I love it. Does curious? Does Player One have a solar camera? Do you? I bet they do. No, it's on their website. Yeah, it's on their website, or it's in the the manual thing. If you look up I guess it's the manual. It says 67 millimeters. Pretty positive that's what it is. That's exactly how far I am from the quirk. And maybe I shouldn't pay any attention to that. I'll find it, and when I email you I'll find that and in the manual or whatever they call it. And you look up the quirk, and you go to you can find it's on the website though. Now, is the Apollo Max a solar camera or kind of an all-around camera with a tilt adapter built in? I need to go on their website and see what they've got. I'd like to have a camera. The 1600 is not the camera to use for the or the 174 has been the go-to camera for a lot of people in the Quirk, but I don't get it, and I'm not unless I have absolute awesome scene. I get much better resolution with the Solar Scout and the Quirk than I do the other kit. And I think I I'm not positive, but I think when you attach the camera to the Solar Scout, hmm, I think it's further than 67 millimeters. I know I was looking at it, and I would think it. I don't know about the Solar Scout, but it has a Quirk chromosphere on it, and I also have a tilt adapter on it, and I think it makes it further. It's a ZWO tilt adapter on the Solar Scout, but the Newton rings on both the Solar Scout and the Quirk are terrible without a tilt adapters. Whoa! Wow! Now that's a pixel. Well, I'm real excited to see your processing of. I sure appreciate the work you do. I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm hardly smart enough to figure out how to use what you do, let alone do what you do. Huh? I think I just lost Wi-Fi. There we go. The ASI 174. It's the 174 MX. Tell you what, I'm going to stop capture. I've got enough, and I'm going to bring up. I'm going to switch cameras now, and I'll bring up the 174, and I'll show you. Let's go over here. Oh, wrong way. Okay, let's see. What have I got going on here? Let me fix this histogram. Uh, I have some flats I could apply, but I would prefer. I do not like the built-in flat capture program that SharpCap has. I would prefer to defocus, take my flats, and then apply those in auto stackered. It works so much better. Um, I'm at my telescope is at 336 millimeters, and then when you take the 4.2x quirk times that, then I am 12, 1300 millimeters, 1400 millimeters. And I'm not in focus now. That's and I'm moving the focuser out. Now I'm going to move it in. A little more. And I'm going out of focus, so I'll bring it back out. So that is about as good as I get, although maybe a little better in some scene conditions. And I have to really work on the histogram just to show that. So something's, I don't think, I don't know, something doesn't seem right. And I'm wondering if the quirk has having some issues of its own. I don't know. I've gone on cloudy nights to see if others. Mine's about 7, 8 years old, and it gets used. Well, it's not out of focus. It may be a little bit out of focus, but that's exactly what it looks like. But I'm moving. I'll move the focuser. I'll take it way out of focus where it's obviously out of focus. So I'm just clicking. So now we know it's really out of focus, and I'm going to move back 10 steps at a time, and I will pass at some point the best focus, which is probably there, say there, and I'll continue going. Let's see, that's it. 3, that was at 3, that was at 395. So I'll go in this direction, and it doesn't get any better, it just starts getting worse. So 395 is about as good as focus is going to get. Maybe 385. Yeah. Well, I can tell you I got a green light. So now is it possible for the heater not to work and have a green light? I don't know. Uh, and I think, Bill, as far as being off band, I think if I dialed the tuner all the way to the, say, clockwise, all the way to the right, let it, let the heater, wait till the light turns green, took an image, moved it a click to the counterclockwise, and moved it all the way back until it was fully to the other extreme, and took those 15 images and put them side by side, there wouldn't be that much difference. It's an Optilong filter, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. Um, do you use one? And if I take this out, if I don't stretch this image, and this is what it looks like. So if I don't adjust this histogram for some contrast, then but I can process an image, and it's so-so. I can see banding right now. I doubt you can, but I can see banding because of the stretch that I've initiated to get this contrast. It's an Optilong IR filter, and there's two kinds that it is a F4 F6. So I'm at F24 in that neighborhood with the quirk. I got different refractors. You think I ought to try a different one? I love that Astrotech 65 EDQ though. It's a great little telescope, and at 336 millimeters, it's you can't get the full disc with the 174, but I'm gonna try see if I'm gonna try seeing if I'm gonna do some experimenting. Well, I have an HA filter that I can. I have an HA filter that I can put on the quirk. It's really going to affect the exposure, though. I'm going to really have to. It's going to drop my frame rate, which I'm going to have to really jack up the gain because the HA filter is really going to be light limiting. But I agree with you. There's something wrong. It may be time to send my quirk in and let them take a look at it. I didn't know I was muted. I've been talking this entire time. Oh, wrong microphone. I had muted the other microphone. Been fighting a cold, sneezing, coughing, choking. Well, okay. Well, Bill, I've seen enough of this. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll go pull one of those videos that I've just one of those AVIs and stack it in AutoStacker and send you one that that I've just taken, and see what you think. And so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll catch you guys later. If I can find out how to if I can find out how to sign off. And oh Lord. Figured it out.